Hello, everybody. This is our little after show after the session. So episode 1, we just finished it for the Fallout the Garden of Adam. We're just going to take a few minutes and chat with the crew about the first episode because, oh my gosh, wow.
So much to talk
what a
about.
wild ride.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and just let's start with what are some highlights for people? What are some moments that were just like, oh my God, for tonight? We can just kind of go around the table here.
Yeah, I got one, teacher. That whole last conversation at the end between Reed and fucking Phil. Oh my God, guys.
Yeah, that felt good. Richard, it's always
Episode
a pleasure
1.
doing amazing scenes
Yeah.
with you. That was fantastic.
It was so
I really
good.
loved what you had to say as Reed, like talking about protecting Phil. And Phil's never
shipping
heard that from
Phil and Reed.
someone. Yeah. Phil's always been in like very early on. Phil was a vault security guard in his life. You know, he got very lucky that his father was in it and was respected and got basically an early in and like fast tracked into this career. Has always been used to being more of a protector. Has never really heard anyone say like, hey, I'm here to look out for you, I'm here to protect you. So it's almost like this clash of emotions for Phil of hearing that, but also like of witnessing like kind of what just went down. And I think Phil is at a point right now where he's not ready to kind of sacrifice himself or is not willing to really change anything about himself or adapt to this new world. He's almost like in denial. But I think I'm kind of doing a fun thing with him where I'm trying to find the point at which point does Phil break? At which point does Phil finally change and do something? Or, you know, does he? Or is there a breaking point for Phil? Is there a turning point where he finally is able to, you know, sacrifice one of his morals or the way he does things? But yeah, right now he's just he doesn't like to see people hurt. He doesn't really even understand the idea of bad people yet. You know, he's like, he kind of like, he's seen the Raiders. He heard them talk about some bad things, but he still hasn't seen it like happen in front of him. And just seeing like this first fight and especially like coming out into this wasteland, expecting something way different. And now in his first day, seeing like 3 people get killed in front of him. He's just trying to like come to terms with like, oh shit, this isn't what I wanted at all. This isn't the life that I thought I was going to have. So I think that's just really fun. Yeah, especially having that conversation now with Reed and seeing 2 vault dwellers kind of go down different paths.
Yeah.
Right, like how different
and 2
they
people
are
who
and seeing,
and like, such close friends. Yeah. And now is like, are they going different paths now? Are they finally forming? Like, there's a rift starting to form. So I think that's really interesting to see if like that's gonna where that's gonna go.
I love that because like how you were saying about like with how Phil grew up and how he is the way he is, like I'm kind of playing Reed more like, you know, he was in vault maintenance, so when there's a problem you gotta fix it even if you don't have the part. You gotta improvise, you gotta adapt, you gotta do what you gotta do. And so it's like, you know, I think that he immediately was like, oh, this place isn't what we thought it was. I gotta live. You know?
Yeah, and Phil,
and it's so hard.
Phil's had such a privileged life. Like he's had everything he's ever wanted got to him. He's never had like an obstacle like this to where he can't like not overcome it. Like he's overcome most things pretty easily. He's never really faced a ton of hardship. So it's like him now being faced with just a lot of hardships at once, and him not like almost being overwhelmed by them, and not really understanding how to deal with them, or not really understanding other people's perspectives yet. You know, like not seeing where Ruthie comes from or where Ethan comes from for shooting someone. Like he's just not there yet. And that's really fun to play.
I think that's.
I think for me.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I spoke already. You go ahead.
Go ahead, Koda.
I was just gonna say I really like how they're both Reed and Phil are very selfless characters, but how it comes out in very different ways.
It's very true.
Like
Yeah.
Phil basically had to him, like, probably one of the most important things to ever happen to somebody from his vault happened to him, and he only thought of his best friend. Whereas, you know, Reed is like, these guys might kill us. My friend can't see anything, doesn't probably know what's going on. I gotta do what I gotta do based on, like, the minimal information that I have gotten from these two individuals who seem to know what they're kind of doing.
Yep.
And I think that that's, like, really, really fun to see, like, the differences in their, like, selflessness versus two people who may or may not be as selfless. Who knows?
Tee giggle.
Tee giggle.
Yeah. And I think that kind of calls back to, you know, the beginning, those mixed emotions that Reed was feeling watching Phil get picked. I think, you know, it's not only that he feels that he's always been passed up and that he's always wanted this, but it's also like, you know, that's my best friend, and if something happens to him out there and I'm not there, you know, like he loves Phil so much, but he also knows that Phil loves Vault Tech and thinks life down there is perfect. And I think Reed, more recently in his life, has started to notice that it's not. And then getting up here, he's like, oh, yeah, okay. So.
Oh, good. That was one of my favorite. When Ruthie was describing stuff, you're like, oh, good. There was a moment when you said that I was cracking up. I'm like, yeah. I wrote it down. I'm like, oh, good. I just like read.
That's gonna be the first thing to be on the merch that we release.
So good. Read.
Unless.
Yeah. So we'll kind of bouncing off there. So what are some other people's highlights? I know kind of the moment with Phil and Reed was really, really great. What are some other things that people kind of that stood out to you tonight?
Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was so good.
That being the introduction. Chef's kiss, honestly.
Thank you. No.
It was so good.
Oh my god.
Go for it. No, it was so good. I'm like that encapsulated just I think it set the tone for your character.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yep.
Well, because when you texted me like this whole thing last night about it, and I told you, I was like, I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about it. I have not been able to stop thinking about this exact moment. And I even, at one point, I was sitting there like, these guys are having like a but out of pocket bizarre conversation. And all I could think about is like, you guys are sitting there having this bizarre out of pocket like experience, and Ruthie's just like, so I'm gonna like die in here, huh? Like this is how I'm gonna like. It just was so funny to me. Anyway, but yeah, I just like, I don't know. I knew I wanted it to be a good way to like set the fact that she is very different, because I think when we were doing play testing, it was very evident that she and Phil are not the same people.
Yeah. For sure.
And so I wanted it to sort of not only emphasize the differences of her and the other characters, but the differences of like growing up and this being your reality versus growing up and thinking everything is totally fine, like Vault Tech protects me.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be really funny. I don't know, I'm bad at talking.
Speaking of just kind of like where Ruthie found themselves, did anybody pick up on who she was with?
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I sure did.
Yep.
I was like, I'm gonna weave them into the story. I'm gonna weave them into the story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We missed you first.
Yeah. Exactly. We're here when you come back. Cool. All right. Yeah. Let's. Yeah. Any other? I got a couple that I'll share, but yeah. I'll leave it. I'll let y'all get a couple more.
I really, 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 really enjoy whenever somebody asks Hawke a question that like emphasizes like you're not, a person. their answer is almost always, I don't
Yeah.
understand your question.
I don't understand
And I
the
think
question.
that's really clever.
Because
I can't wait. Go ahead.
Stuff going
go
on.
ahead.
Stuff going on in that big middle dome of theirs. Anytime something challenges their worldview, they have to rationalize it or ignore it. So
Yeah.
See, I think
I can't wait till we get to the point where, some like I have to try to step in and heal Hawke a bit because like Reed is great with electronics and computers and things like that.
No.
And he's gonna be great with it.
Oh. Oh my God,
It's
you're
gonna
right.
be fun.
It's gonna get weird.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
gotta fuck me up next combat. Just go for it.
Oh my
Noted.
God.
Noted.
Lock it in.
Yep. Richard, I think you were gonna say something too.
I was gonna say, I think Phil has that parallel with Ethan in that when anything challenges their view, their worldview, especially of Vault-Tec, they're like just in denial about it. They're just straight up like, no. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you must have heard it wrong. Or like, hey, even though this world isn't what I thought it'd be, like, they probably had a reason for not updating the map, They
Right.
probably
They
had like,
didn't
well, they were right
lie.
about sugar bombs. They were right about comics. So it's like, why would they lie about some things and tell the truth about other things? Like, it just doesn't make
Right.
sense. And I've had a great
Yeah.
life up to this point. Why would they suddenly like change that,
Kick me out. Right, exactly.
Yeah, and like there's some things they were right about. They must have just had like outdated information. And like the info that Phil's going on right now, O-Town, like, hey, that's probably where they are. There's this town, it's out there. It's probably just like this area we're at is really bad. They probably just had to go a little bit further, and they're probably all holed up there.
And that's where life is
Yeah.
perfect and good again.
And it's like, and hearing the other vaults failed, where it's like, well, okay, well, maybe those are the other vaults. They probably had some other issue. And we're like hearing that Ruthie saw other dead vault dwellers.
Yeah.
We're like, well, Ethan said their vault's empty. It was probably that.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Oh.
not my
Denial.
vault. It's not,
Yep.
Yeah.
because that wouldn't happen to my vault. Everyone's safe.
Right.
Everyone's like, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna overcome this, and I'm gonna start the next part of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start with my friend Reed. I'm gonna take him with me. And we're gonna get out of this. It's crazy right now, but it's gonna be fine.
We're gonna get out of this the same way that we walked in.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna change.
Nothing's ever
Nothing's
gonna change.
happen.
Yeah, everything will
I
be fine.
really loved the little things that we're like finding out like already about the characters that we didn't know about each other's characters before. I did not know that Hawke was from a vault.
No.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that
And-
little.
And
yeah.
I saw Dakota react very big when we said that Reed's father was the first to be picked for the reclamation raffle. Like, there's little things like that are coming out now. It's like, ooh, there's some
Right.
little threads.
I wrote down. I'm not going to say all of what I wrote down because it's a little bit of a spoiler for Ruthie potentially. But I wrote down Reed, daddy issues.
Question mark?
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah. I
This was a
loved
great session.
I will say I loved how Jimmy D, you guys just like when he would try to talk to you and you just
Everyone just
shut up,
Jimmy D.
shut up.
Shut up, Jimmy D.
The two
Hey,
of us
speaking of-
separately were like, hey, shut the fuck up real fast.
I know, it's so
No
good.
one's asking you.
So good.
Speaking of, he definitely ran away while we
Oh,
were fighting,
for sure.
right? Like,
Yeah,
he's
where's
out.
Jimmy
yeah,
D at?
the
He's
moment that we
gone.
started firing, he was out of there.
Yeah, no, he's definitely out of
He's
there.
like, I gotta go.
We didn't hear him over the gunshots. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on down. I'll be back in a polka.
Watch, we're gonna run into him later and be like, you little shit.
He's like,
You coward.
yeah. Man. Oh man, there were so many. Yeah, I just think there was just a lot of powerful moments already between characters. And even like that little I love that little interaction too at the end with Ruthie and Hawke, and just like I just think there was like those little pocket moments that happened throughout that were just so nice, and like and it was, I think from the outside perspective of just how quickly you all were just on, because we had already played together, and like that was such a cool thing to see, this how it was just boom right into it. And because I was curious, you never know. And it was in amazing.
I feel like too, like going on that moment, part of the reason, like, because I was like, I feel like, I don't know, to me, the reason I really wanted it to be like said by Ruthie, and the reason I had asked if she could see Phil, was because the last person that had a similar temperament to him, you know, is now gone from her life, or like she believes is potentially gone from her life. And so I think it's kind of like a double meaning. It's like, I can't let anything happen to him. And, you know, if I don't let anything happen to him, it makes what happened earlier a lot easier. Because actually, Forrest and I had discussed them having some form of like a backstory tie-in together like a while ago. So it's kind of like that double, like, if I protect Phil, or like if I don't let anything happen to him, it also like nullifies
any harm,
the blame that she or like anything that she may feel towards herself about what happened to her last companion.
I did love that moment when Ruthie said that, because it's like the whole time it's like you can see that Ruthie is like, these are some dumb fucks. They don't know what is going on out here. They have no idea what they're walking into. They just got out here 5 minutes ago. Are you serious? And like to see her like starting to like soften up to them a little bit is awesome to me. I loved that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved your temperament of like, oh, these guys are like dumb. I will protect them.
Yeah. No one else has been out here.
Very good.
They're idiots, but they're my idiots.
Like, I guess they're my problem now.
There might be a level of like, they did technically save my life, so I kind of have to return the favor too.
Oh, absolutely. It's very much a like, damn it, they saved my life, and like I can't. I want to, like, you have no idea how badly she just wants to be like, okay, peace. But it's. I think the moment, I think it was Reed who was like, we just saved your life. Like, come on, dude. Like, you're really going to do this, right? I think it was Reed. Yeah. But I think it was that moment where she was like, son of a bitch, I hate it when people point out that I have a morality and, like, actually care about people. Damn it. So, there's reasons why she doesn't want to care about people, you know? She has her reasons. So... But damn it, this guy really just fucking told me I should care. Fine, I'm gonna do it out of spite, I guess. Fuck you.
Oh my god. Another great moment for me. You're not Terrence.
That's so good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know why
you
I
lied.
said yes to the plan. because Kylie was like, they have numbers on their helmets, and I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right.
Like, I was thinking that the entire time, like, this is gonna backfire in the worst possible way. Thank you, dice gods, for not letting it backfire.
I will. Another thing too that I loved getting to see, because I mean, knowing like everybody's backstory stuff, like again, kind of building off what you were saying, Jake, just like little pieces of people's story starting to come out. And like, I think, like the stuff with Hawke and just, well, they haven't said exactly who they're like looking for. Like, I think that was such a cool little piece. And I don't know, I just like, again, like looking at it from like a listener perspective, it's just like, it's just eating me inside my head. I'm like, that brain turn. I'm like, whoa, what are they looking for?
I'm curious too, like, because like I don't have like the most amount of Fallout knowledge. I've been playing Fallout 4 and like all this stuff to like prepare. I'm curious because like at least in Fallout 4 you don't get to like take your Miss Nanny, Mr. Handy with you. So I'm like, how did you get into the like where you So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
You do, but I just don't think you did, Dakota.
Huh?
You do get to take him with you. I just don't think you did.
Mine didn't come with me. Oh, dang it.
Oh
Mine stayed at the house.
my god.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like, obviously I went back to my house and I like found him like still in the house, and then he started like crying or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then at one point I accidentally switched from my dog meat to him, and I was really mad at myself, and I didn't know how to switch back, and then I couldn't find my dog meat, so I just went back to like my previous save file because I was that mad.
Mhm.
And then I haven't played since. I got to like the factory, and I'm like almost at the top of the factory, but I'm still mad at the game, and I haven't anymore.
Feel that.
The game makes me mad.
Gosh, well, yeah, that's just interesting too. Like I was curious if there was going to be any more prying about like what happened at Hawke's vault too. Like that was another thing where I was like, yeah, that was. There's just so many things. There's like you all just like the groundwork that was laid in this first episode.
Really good.
Holy shit.
Perfect.
Oh,
So perfect.
oh my god. Oh, it's
Yeah.
great. It's so much fun.
I've been so excited for this because, like, on a personal note, like Fallout, I was obsessed with Fallout before I even knew what the fuck a TTRPG was. And like, so I am so happy to be here playing this with you guys. You guys are incredible actors and players and scene partners. Like, this is fantastic. I love this group so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was telling Kylie, this is the first time. So like obviously I do like dice rolls can kill, but that's like all of my like college friends.
Mhm,
So like this is the first time, like the Strangers Guild stream that I
mhm.
did was the first time because of my like TikTok presence that I've ever been invited to anything. And I think I even told Icarus when they told me that I was in, I was like, I've never done anything like this. Like, you guys have so many other people that you could choose. Because there were some really big names in that stream. And I was like, holy crap, I am a part of this. Like, what? And then when Kylie reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to do this? I was like, what the heck is going on? So, like, to be here and to, like, get to play with all of you, like, it's made my little actor TTRPG brain, like, so happy. Like, I'm so happy to be here. This is such a fun group. It's, like, even, like, from the first playthrough when we were all just, like, getting thrown in, and I was like, I'm new. You all have kind of maybe done stuff before. It just was an instant click. And I think you can tell, just, like, based on how quickly all of our characters just sort of, whether they meshed or are like oil and vinegar, it's just it's itching a really good itch in my actor brain.
Yeah. We have fun here at Dicescape. We have so much fun.
Yeah, and I think too, it's a lot of fun to have the opportunity, because there are so many amazing people in the space, and just like to have the opportunity to bounce around and like and just collaborate together. And again, like I know a lot of lifting each other up and growing together, because it's a tough space to be in. And I think that, doing stuff like this is just awesome. And it's like it just gets me excited. I'm like, all right, we got this project. It's like, because my brain is always like, present and future, and I'm like, oh my god, like, just imagine what we could do.
I know, right?
Yeah, so cool. Awesome.
Hey,
well,
wait, by the time this is coming out, it's going to be fall, right? So you can catch a couple of us pretty soon at PAX Unplugged, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. We will be there.
PAX.
Yeah, if you see us running around. Which mentions we gotta work on our redesign for our Dicescape merch. So definitely get that figured out. But yeah, so maybe we'll have some Fallout. We'll have some Fallout Garden of Adam merch too that I can send to y'all as well. But yeah, any last little bits anybody has before we kind of wrap up our first little Wasteland Wanderers here?
I'm broke, so I won't be at PAX.
No,
I'm broke, so I won't be at PAX. But I love you all, and I'll be there in spirit.
I will bring my iPad, and I will FaceTime you in.
We'll have like one of those.
This is Coda. They are here with us in spirit.
We'll have like one of those face cutouts you bring to like football or to like soccer games.
Yeah.
Coda, do
Yeah.
you want anything from this vendor? I think they got some cool dice.
Yeah, they got like a bunch of like God of War. I know you like Overwatch.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yo, if you're on
Uh.
Overwatch, let me know, dog.
I'm a
I
big
got
Overwatch
you.
fan.
I got you.
Oh,
Hey,
yo, what?
There we
Sombra
go.
man over
We could
here.
do a
Sombra?
Fallout. We could do a Fallout, the Garden of Adam Overwatch night sometime. We could
Yeah,
do like a
let's
little
do it.
fun,
Yeah.
a fun thing. Yeah.
Y'all need a mercy main? Cause
I'm a
got
mercy
you.
main too.
Yes, I
I
do.
got you.
Amazing.
I also play Diva.
Diva.
I also
yeah.
play Diva.
I like Moira. That's who I.
These names mean
That's my
nothing to
wife.
me.
I feel. I'm like. I don't know if I.
How do you guys feel about May?
Yeah.
'Cause I like
When she is on my team, I love
like-
her. When she's on the
yeah.
enemy team, I want to pull out
I
my
like
hair.
playing as May. Because they can't
Yeah.
run. I can slow them
As
down.
a Sombra, when that May gets me in that ice, I'm pissed. I'm so pissed.
When I
Yeah.
can't fly, I cry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Mhm,
Oh, that rhymed.
mhm. It'd be like
All right,
that.
y'all. Well,
It just be like that.
we'll wrap it up there. But again, thank you all for an amazing first episode. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So
did it.
on that, we'll say goodnight. We'll say goodnight, everybody.
Good
We'll see you
night.
next time.
We'll see you next week.
Next time on Fallout: The Garden of Adam. You open it.
Mhm.
There's two things you find in there. The first thing you find is this. It's like an old sardine can, but it has a bunch of bottle caps in it.
Yeah.
30 bottle caps. And you find a Pip-Boy, an old Pip-Boy in there.
Oh.
shit.
Oh.
As you go to move the scarf, you see something staring back at you. As you see this mole rat open its mouth.
What the hell?
You see the hand just closes onto the hard drive. It doesn't break it, but it like holds onto it and like can't come off. It's just in their hand right now. It's like locked
Oh.
in.
Oh
But
dear.
Oh, what's going on? You need some help there? Or?
I believe my muscles are contracting.
You're having contractions?
I can't release it.
You said you're having contractions?
Yeah.
Oh, in the hand. I was all right.
Yeah. What else?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. All right. Sorry. I know it's a lot to first thing in the morning here, but
Yeah.
the Pip-Boy she found, it was my dad's.